So, have you ever wondered how an invisible audience, like a search engine algorithm or maybe a screen reader, makes sense of a web page's content before they even visually see it? We usually think about web design in terms of flashy colors, cool fonts, and striking images. But long before any of that gets rendered on a screen, there is a fundamental skeleton behind the scenes that actually gives the page its meaning.
Welcome to today's Explainer. Think of building a web page literally like an architect drawing up a blueprint for a brand new house. Before you even think about picking out the paint colors or the furniture, you need strong walls, right? Well, today we're going to learn exactly how to construct that flawless structural foundation. Okay, here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the web's building blocks. Second, mastering heading hierarchy. Third, SEO and the invisible audience. Fourth, structuring text with paragraphs. And finally, building your very own professional hero section. Let's dive right into Section 1, the web's building blocks, or as I like to call it, structuring the chaos. Picture this. You're reading a newspaper, but there are absolutely no headlines and no paragraphs. It's just a massive, chaotic wall of text. Pretty unreadable, right? Well, HTML, or hypertext markup language, is what structures that chaos. It uses tags to organize the content and establish relationships between different elements. It essentially acts as the root anchor for your entire page. Moving right along to Section 2, mastering heading hierarchy with the H1 to H6 tags. These headings, they basically act as the titles and subtitles of your web page, creating a clean outline. Your H1 acts as the overarching umbrella for the page. Nested cleanly underneath that, you have an H2. Beneath that, an H3. It's exactly like writing a formal outline for an essay back in school. You have your main topic, your areas of discussion beneath that, and then your further subtopics. Take a look at this strict descending visual hierarchy that's actually built right into your browser's default. An H1 tag automatically renders at a pretty massive 32 pixels, while an H6 drops all the way down to just over 11 pixels. Visually, the browser naturally formats the absolute most important information to be the largest. It just makes sense. So let's see how this builds into real-world code application. A good hierarchy steps down logically, H1, then H2, then H3. A bad hierarchy skips levels entirely, like jumping from an H1 all the way down to an H4, maybe just because the developer likes the smaller default font size of that H4. Actually, this is a massive mistake. Headings are absolutely not for picking a font size. That's what CSS is for later on. Headings are strictly for semantic structure. All right, Section 3. SEO and the invisible audience. Let's talk about why this hierarchy actually matters. So why be so strict about this hierarchy if we can just change how it looks with CSS later anyway? Because of this golden rule. Only put one H1 element per page. Your H1 is the VIP. It tells search engines exactly what your overall page is about. Throwing multiple H1s on a page, that just completely confuses the algorithms. Proper heading structures give your code what we call semantic meaning. When a screen reader for visually impaired users scans your page, it directly uses those heading tags to navigate the content. When Google's search bots crawl your site, they give major importance to the keywords inside those headings. In fact, recruiters will often check your code to see if you understand this semantic structure, because relying on proper headings rather than generic tags reflects true real-world development standards. It's a real game changer for your portfolio. Next up, Section 4. Structuring text with paragraphs, our main content vehicle. If headings are the skeleton of our page, well, paragraph tags are the muscle. Because they are block-level elements, browsers will automatically add spacing before and after a paragraph tag, which makes your detailed sentences really readable and clean. It's basically how you fill in all the crucial details beneath your H2 and H3 subtopics. And finally, Section 5, building your hero section. Let's actually put all of this theory into practice. The hero section is exactly what it sounds like. It's the hero of the page, that very top section that serves as the first impression you give to a visitor or a recruiter. It introduces who you are, what you do, and it sets the entire tone for the site. Because it's literally the most vital space on the page for grabbing attention, our semantic hierarchy here needs to be absolutely spot on. Okay, so here is the sequential blueprint for building your hero section. Step 1, you declare your identity using your page's one and only H1 tag. For example, your H1 could just be Jane Doe. Step 2, state your professional title. You can use an H2 tag for a subheading here, or even a specialized paragraph tag, like a P tag with a class of hero-intro that says something like front-end developer and UI designer. And finally, step 3, use a standard P tag to write a short, compelling bio about your background and expertise. Boom. Clean, accessible, and completely semantic code.
So there we have it. You now know exactly how an invisible audience of algorithms and screen readers parses your web page. You understand the true power of the H1 tag, the structural support of your H2s through H6s, and how the paragraph tag carries the bulk of your message. I'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you hold the structural blueprint in your hands, what are you going to build with your first H1 tag? Thanks so much for hanging out with me in this explainer, and happy coding!